215.
Channel 8, please.
Some are using what they have learned to reboot traditional earthbound agriculture. Melbourne's Queen Victoria Market is a cornucopia of locally grown produce. All that bounty inspired a homegrown startup, aiming to make agriculture more sustainable.
I came from a corporate environment, working big hours, and I think one of the critical things I thought I should do would be spending my time wisely. So I thought working on something that can better the planet would be the ideal pathway. So I kind of worked on a lot of platforms, such as renewable energy in Southeast Asia, and slowly came around greenhouse farming.
The Gaia Project's newest greenhouse is in the heart of Melbourne. The Intelligent Crop Cultivation Module is designed for use in space, specifically aboard a shuttlecraft. NASA is underwriting work on the unit.
We're looking at 9 milligrams per litre.
It's an ultra-compact farm that's highly engineered. With light, temperature, and air quality tightly controlled, team members germinate vegetable and microgreen seeds in a growth medium. After 3 weeks, the seedlings go into the main cultivation area in modular channels. A mobile device irrigates the plants, delivering nutrients and oxygen and maintaining the proper pH. Water and nutrients come in one way, waste materials leave by another. The tank cleans itself with an ultraviolet sterilizing system. Once programmed, the system practically runs itself.
Efficiency-wise, our systems are 100% more yield comparison to any other systems in the market. Now, saying that, there are companies who produce around 50 plants per square meter with additional support. That includes either robotics or labor. Now, some of these components carry things like high contamination, plant transplanting, and a lot of the other things which we don't need to do. It's a singular channel, simple solution that provides what you need without the requirements of labor or capital.
As plants grow, the channels widen and lengthen to make room for them. This feature is meant to conserve space in space, where space is limitless, except aboard a spacecraft.
For space travel-wise, if you look at a space shuttle, every shell, every square centimeter of a space shuttle is significant amount of money. And currently, we're the ones that can provide a solution for the astronauts with using the lowest amount of space inside the spacecraft and using the lowest amount of water and also the lighting. And ideally, that's what they're looking for in a spacecraft. If you look at building a habitat in Mars, you have to build a complete enclosure, and you have to make sure that what you build inside has the highest efficiencies. We built it for a crew of 4 astronauts, and the system able to provide each astronaut daily around 150 to 200 grams of a combination of leafy greens and microgreens. And that kind of gives us an average output every month or every 28-day cycle, around 16 to 20 kgs. If you get to work with plants or get to touch them, plant them, harvest them, that kind of gives them some closeness to the planet that they're missing. And when they're out in the space where there's nothingness, I mean, that's one of the closest ways you can be close to planet Earth, I would say.
The team is scaling down a version for use on Earth, in Earthling homes. The refrigerator-sized modules would fit into urban dwellings. Powered by renewable energy, they would keep households stocked with leafy greens.
if a lot of people adopt these technologies, you don't need to have trucks running from one corner of the country to another corner to provide food. And you don't have pesticides or insecticides in your food. You know what you grow. Because everyone lives in urban areas now, mainly in apartments. You don't really have a backyard in your house. This would be the next ideal solution for the 21st century. System set up on the roof end. We're still planning on the original system where you connect our inlet systems into the main.
90 minutes from Melbourne, the team visits farmers. One is a top grower of iceberg lettuce.
Yeah, so one more week to go.
Yeah, that's it. Then harvest time.
I can't believe they survived the flood so well.
I think these guys are on the higher ground.
Yeah.
Week away from harvest. So it's got a beautiful head, the leaves are really big frame. Oh, in the last few years it's been very challenging. We've had a lot of rain, especially the last 2 or 3 years. It has completely changed us on the way we've been growing. Variety changing to compensate the climate, being too wet or too cold versus being hot and dry in the drought times. Yeah. So it's been unreal.
These plants have evolved to grow in predictable climates, and it's just not there. So climate change is really impacting our food security. And then moving forward with an exploding population, how are we going to feed that population? And these farmers have got a hard job. I think in history we had to do agriculture because that's the technology we had and we had to survive. So we can't feel guilty about that. But moving forward, we need to decouple agriculture from the land if we can, as much as we can. So then we don't have incorrect use of non-renewable resources like your fertiliser and your water and even your labour and land. So if we decouple from the land and use it more efficiently, now we're starting to have like a circular economy rather than a linear one, where your inputs go through the farm, they become outputs and they're wasted and polluting the ground, they become the inputs again. If you think about space, space is finite, very finite. You have to use what you have. The Earth is no different, we just think it's different. So by doing something in space and making it robust there, we're actually preparing it for Earth and making something that could last into the future. So it goes hand in hand, agri-tech and space, make a good product, bring it back and help humanity move forward with some food security.
I think if you look at your everyday equipment, you use something starting from the microwave, you look at your GPS that you use, your mobile phone technology, everything is kind of built for space at one point, and then somehow it ended up in planet Earth. I think that's the idea of technology development. If it's good for space, then it sure is good for Earth.